here. So sitting up nice and tall, pressing into the sits bones, lengthening the spine, and dropping into your breath, inhaling and exhaling through the nose, allowing the mind to follow the breath. I breathe in, I breathe out. I breathe in, I breathe out. Bringing your hands to Anjali Mudra at the heart center. And as you inhale, sweep the arms down and up. Exhale back to the heart center. Do that 2 more times. Inhale. And exhale. And once more, inhale. And exhale. And then float the arms down to the sides, sitting up nice and tall here. As you inhale, float this right arm up and exhale down. And then the left arm. And I'll just invite you to pay attention to the shoulder and the neck. So as the arm comes down, you want to release and create some space along the side of the neck. Sometimes as the arm comes up, the shoulder and everything will come up and kind of crimp into the neck. And then moving with the breath, inhale here and exhale. And the other side, inhale and exhale. One more time each side, just like that. And the next time the right arm comes up, you can hinge over and come back through the center. And the left arm up and over. This is inhale and exhale. So keep flowing through this side to side. And the next time this right arm comes up, stay here and breathe. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale back. And the left arm up and over, stay here and breathe. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale back. And then lengthen the spine, take a few breaths here. And on your next exhale, just release the chin down to the chest, stretching through the back of the neck. And then roll the right ear towards the right shoulder. And then bringing the chin across the collarbone, left ear to the left shoulder. So just moving nice and slow through this. Again, make sure those shoulders are down and relaxed, that they're not creeping up. And the next time the right ear, or the next time the chin is down to the chest, stay here. And then lift the ears over the shoulders, lengthen, and then just release the right ear straight straight over. So you're kind of coming up and over. Just stay here and breathe. And lifting and reaching, and then slowly lower the left ear towards the left shoulder. Inhale, lengthen and reach. And then roll your shoulders forward and up, and back and down and forward and up, and back and down. Do that a few more times. Really take your time as if you're giving yourself a back massage with your shoulder blades. And then bring that to a close and bring your arms out like this and just bring this right arm across and up here and exhale down. And then the left arm, inhale and exhale. So just working this range of motion in the shoulder. And it is perfectly okay to keep that elbow a little bit soft. That just creates a little more space in that shoulder joint. And you sort of want to feel, it's sort of an interesting pull and push, especially here as the arm is coming down. You want the arm seated in the shoulder socket, but you also want to reach through the arm. We'll go one more time each side here. And then come back to sitting, taking a few breaths. And now we'll roll into some cat-cow. So engaging the root lock, the pit of the belly, curling forward into a cat. So you're curling up into a little ball. And then press the sits bones, lengthen the spine, and open the heart center coming into cow. Keep going like this, inhaling, engaging the root lock, the belly, rounding forward into the cat. And exhale as you arch into the cow. And you want to feel some tensegrity in the spine here. You don't ever want to feel like you're collapsing the spine. It's more of just a rounding one way and then rounding back the other. So this arch and this curve forward. And it's a gentle, tiny movement supported by the muscles of the pelvic floor and the belly as you come into cat and arch into cow. One more time, cat, and then come up to seated and just move in some holographic way, that three-dimensional asymmetric movement. And the wave really starts from the muscles of the pelvic floor. You engage those muscles and you engage the belly muscles, and as you wave, that releases. And everybody's wave will look different. It's just this three-dimensional asymmetric movement, but you want to move slowly and in a way you've never moved before. And then make your way back up to sitting and just return to the breath, noticing how that feels. And then make your way onto your back with your knees bent and your feet flat on the mat. And when you come down here, just take a few breaths to notice how that feels. And I had one student ask me if she said the back of her neck was not flat on the mat, and the back of your neck will not be flat on the mat. There'll be a little space from your shoulders to the back of the head. There's a little curve in the back of the neck there. So you do want to have the occiput, that bony ridge on the back of the head. You want flat on the mat, but the curve in the neck is perfectly fine. As a matter of fact, if you don't have a curve, sometimes that can be a problem. And just enjoy the support of the earth under your spine. And then just gently rock the knees back and forth so that you're massaging that low back. And as you do that, just notice if there's any resistance or holding there, which is very common. It's just very common for us to kind of grip with the muscles in the back, and that's not really how they're designed to operate. It should really be the abdomen that's supporting the spine. Okay, so bring that to a close. Bring your right knee into the chest, right hand on top of the kneecap, and we're just going to start with these big circles. So just keep going. I'm just going to turn on a little more light in here. Yeah, that's a little better. And then when you're ready, you can reverse these circles. So just start rotating back the other way. And then lace your fingers underneath the thigh and straighten and bend the knee. So the knee won't be all the way straight if the thigh is tucked into the chest. For most people, there are a few people that can straighten their knees with the thigh up to the chest. But just move into this gentle stretch of the hamstrings on the backs of the legs. And then flex that right foot and just press it up to the ceiling. So now the thigh will come away from the torso in order to straighten the leg. And then bend that right knee, lace your fingers over the right shin, flex both feet, straighten the left leg. The back of the neck is long. And we're just going to release into the mat, breathing here. Slow, deep breaths into the belly. I breathe in, I breathe out. Releasing that right foot onto the mat. Bring your left knee into the chest, left hand on top of the knee, and begin those big circles. And whenever you're ready, I invite you to reverse those circles. And then hug that left knee in, lace your fingers under the left thigh and straighten and bend the knee. Trying to skip things on this leg. I'm trying to cheat the left leg. So just bending and straightening, keeping the thigh as close to the belly as you can or as close to the chest. And then you can release the hands slightly, let the thigh come away from the chest, flex the foot, reach through the heel, and just feel that stretch. It's so different from the one where the thigh is near the chest. And then bend that left knee into the chest, lace your fingers over the shin, hug it in, flex both feet, straighten the right leg down to the mat, and breathe here. So even though you're releasing into the mat, that right leg is still active. You're flexing the right foot and gently pressing the thigh towards the mat without locking the knee. You don't want to lock the knee. And breathing into the belly, slow, deep breaths. And just bend that right knee in, bring your hands on top of the kneecaps, and now both knees. Again, massaging the low back into the mat. So these practices are really good for people who have chronic low back pain. Because not only are you massaging the low back, but you're also activating those belly muscles in all kinds of three-dimensional ways. Go ahead and reverse this, going back the other way. And then bring that to a close, lower one foot and then the other. And we're going to do that opposing arm and leg flow. So bring your right knee into the chest, flex the foot, press it up to the ceiling, and bring the left arm up and over. And then bend the right knee, lower the right foot, left hand down to the mat, and then left leg, right arm come up. And then exhaling back. So just keep going like this, inhaling, right leg, left arm, exhaling them back, inhaling, left leg, right arm, and exhaling back. Just one leg and then the other, as if you're doing some sort of lazy backstroke in a vat of warm oil. Move that slowly as if there's this resistance. And again, once you have the arm and leg movement and you don't have to really think about it so hard, you can pay attention to how those belly muscles engage and release as you go through this flow. We tend to think about the activity in the limbs, but actually it's the work that's going on deep in the core that's really important. That's of course, the stability for everything when you're standing. So the next time your right arm, left leg come up, stay here and just reach. Take a few breaths. And then bring this right arm up, flex the palm of the hand and flex the foot just like that. And then point and flex both the wrist and the ankle. So now you're stretching into the lower parts of the limb, so the calf muscle on the leg, and the little muscles in the feet, and of course the lower arm and hands. And then flex and reach, and then make big circles both with the foot. So I'll bend my knee so you can see it. The foot's making big circles, and so is the wrist. And then reverse those circles, just go back the other way. And then flex and reach, breathing here. So, the most important breath in yoga is that you don't hold the breath, that you're always open to the atmospheric air. And then go ahead and bend the knee, lower the foot, lower the arm, and then bring the right leg, left arm up, and just take a little stretch here. Lifting that left arm up so the tips of the fingers are towards the ceiling, and then pointing the fingers and the toes and flexing and pointing and flexing. And the next time you flex, reach here and make big circles, wrist and ankle. And then reverse, going back the other way. And then flex and reach, Bend the knee, lower the foot, lower the arms, stay here and breathe. And then find your yoga strap. So if you're using a regular strap with a metal buckle or any kind of buckle, you just always want to get that buckle near my hand so that I have control of it, so it's not flopping around where it could accidentally hit you in the face. And then bring your right leg up and lasso the ball of that right foot, and then reach, reach, reach. So when you straighten the leg, sometimes there's a tendency to lift the tailbone or the sacrum off of the mat, and you don't want to do that. So if you find yourself lifting, lower your leg a little bit, draw the navel towards the spine, press the sacrum down on the mat, and just stay here and breathe. This is where you're going to get the best stretch. So we want to lengthen all the tissue on the back of the legs, because what happens is sometimes because of our lifestyle, these muscles and connective tissue get so tight that they pull our pelvis out of alignment. So we want to open those up and breathe here. And then just lower this right leg till the thighs are parallel, the knees are even, reach through the heel. And then slowly keep the leg as straight as you can and slowly bring it back up. And you may notice some different places where you might want to stop and breathe and then resume. Or you might just want to stay there and breathe into those places where there seems to be a lot of resistance. One of the things that happens is when we move really quickly, we bypass a lot of our work. We just skip over it. And so then the body stays stiff in that one particular area, or that little bit of inflammation stays in that one particular area because we don't stay with it and allow it to release. So bring the left knee into the chest and come into the Supta Dandasana, this lying down staff pose, both feet in the yoga strap. We'll just take a few breaths here. And it's the same thing if you feel your sacrum rolling up off of the floor. Just draw the navel to the spine, and your legs may come down a little bit. That's okay. That really doesn't matter as long as you feel that nice stretch in the backs of the legs. And the stretch, you don't want to stretch so much that it's painful. So find the place where it just sort of feels unusual. And sometimes it's kind of difficult to discern the difference between pain and just something that's unusual. But, you know, pain is a signal that you're injuring your body. So it's, you know, really just back out and come back into it slowly and stop before you get to a place of pain. Now, bend the right knee into the chest, lower the right foot down, and you're reaching through that left leg, breathing here. And then releasing that left leg till the thighs are parallel. And you'll feel a release of anything here. And then really take your time bringing that leg back up. And you're looking for those places that you bypassed where there's some residual resistance or stagnation, or just kind of something interesting in the body that you don't usually take the time or effort to experience. And breathe here. And then bring that right knee into the chest, bring it up next to the left, come back to the Supta Dandasana and just stay here and breathe. So when I'm working with the strap, I don't like to hold it way up towards the feet. I like to slide my hands down so the elbows are on the mat, and that way you don't pull your shoulders forward, reaching for the strap. And it also helps prevent building up tension and stress in the back of the neck and the shoulders, which that's really the last thing we want to do. So go ahead and bend the left knee into the chest, bring the left leg down to the mat, and take the strap in your right hand. Engage the belly and open this right leg out to the right. The left knee is bent, so that gives you a little support. And that left knee can, if it falls out to the side a little bit, it's okay. But reach through that right heel. Use your abdominal muscles to keep the spine flat on the mat. So don't let that left heel hip roll up. And breathe here. And then slowly lift that right leg back up. You can take each end of the strap in either hand and come back to the breaths here. And then take both ends of the yoga strap in the left hand and just bring this right leg across. Keep it straight and strong. Keep the foot flexed. And you just cross over the side of the body. The right leg comes over to the left side and reach here. And you'll feel a weird stretch in the back of the thigh. That's what's called the iliotibial band. And it's just a big band of fascia that several muscles insert into. And just stay here and take some breaths. And then bringing that leg back to neutral, taking each end of the strap in either hand and lifting the left knee into the chest and straightening it up and just taking some breaths here. Releasing the sacrum down to the mat. And then bend the right knee, lower the right foot onto your yoga mat. Reach through the left heel, breathe in here. Both ends of the yoga strap in the left hand, reaching through the heel. Open that left leg out to the left. The right hip stays on the mat and you reach, reach, reach here. Slowly bringing that left leg back up. Each end of the yoga strap in either hand, reaching through the heel of the left foot and breathing here. Both ends of the yoga strap in the right hand, bringing the right leg across the body and reaching through the heel here. I'm sorry, you're bringing your left leg across the body over to the right side. I think I misspoke. And then lifting that leg back to center, Taking each end of the yoga strap in either hand and staying here and breathing. Lifting the right knee in, coming to this, what's called Supine, lying down staff pose. So reach through the heels, make sure the knees are straight, not locked. The sacrum is pressing into the mat, the shoulders and the back of the head are relaxed. Slow, deep breath. And then bend the knees into the chest, take that yoga strap and put it over to the side. And then hug your knees in and just rock from left to right. And then bring this rocking to a close and bring your arms out to a T position. And we're going to do my favorite twisting flow. So bring your right knee onto the floor underneath the right elbow. Stack the left leg on top, twisting at the waist, lengthening the spine. And then the left leg comes up and the right leg comes up. And then roll on to the left side and stack the right knee here. So twisting to the other side. And then transitioning to the right side. So right leg and then left leg stacks on top. And transitioning to the left. So left leg lifts and right leg stacks on top. So just keep going like this from side to side. Keep the spine long. And you can move as quickly or as slowly as you like, but a slower movement will actually help you engage the muscles. And slower yoga practices also improve your ability to take in sensory information. So to notice how it feels. And to interpret that sensory input. Not really analyze it, but just to kind of acknowledge that it's there. Because our bodies have all kinds of messages for us about what we need to do to be healthy if we'll listen to it. So the next time you're on your right side, just stay here. Lengthen the spine, take a few breaths, release this left shoulder towards the mat on the left side, and then flex your feet and straighten your left leg over your right. So the right knee stays bent and the left leg is straight and the thighs are parallel. So this is just a twist that stretches into that iliotibial band again, as well as the glutes. Breathe here. And then bend the knee and transition back to the other side. So now you're on your left side. I just got to scoot to be more central on the mat. And then stay here. Just stay here. Enjoy the twist. Both knees are bent. It just gives your body an opportunity to sort of melt into the pose. And then flex both feet, straighten the right leg. So the thighs are parallel, the knees are even, the left stays bent. So just brings a different element to the twist. And then bend the right knee and come back onto your back. Flex the feet, press them up to the ceiling, back to that Supine. And we're going to come into a happy baby. So just let your feet drop out to the side. Drop out to the side. The soles of the feet are pointing up towards the ceiling. I think it's hard to see on the video. And then bend the knees into the chest so that imagine your knees are right underneath your armpits here. And you can stay right here with your hands around your thighs and the happy baby like this. Or if you'd like, you can slide your hands up the insides of the legs, pull the knees towards the floor a little bit more. And then remember how we didn't want the sacrum to roll up off the mat? So draw the navel. See if you can gently use that strong belly muscle to press the sacrum into the mat, and you'll feel it in the hips, believe it or not. And breathe here. And when you're ready, you can release that and come back to the Supta Dandasana. So reaching through the heels. If you want, you can bring your hands behind the thighs to support you. So if your hamstrings are so tight that your legs are out here when you're doing this, it's the belly is working a lot harder than if you have your heels right over your hip points. Then the belly muscles don't have to work so hard because of the gravitational forces. Okay, so let's come back into that happy baby, flexing the feet, bringing them out to the side, bending the knees. Now, again, you could stay here. This is a perfectly fine happy baby. But if you want to take it further, you can run your hands up the insides of the legs and wrap them around your insteps. And happy baby is really great because it stretches the muscles of the pelvic floor. So during the practice, we engaged a lot. We talked about engaging those muscles, but we never really talked specifically about releasing them. And then when you're ready, you can just release and draw the knees into the chest. And again, rock from side to side. And bringing that to a close, we'll come into Shavasana. So lowering one foot and then the other. Bringing your arms out to the side. And if you have low back issues, or if laying flat just isn't comfortable for you, get a bolster or a folded blanket or towel and place it under the thighs. Release into the mat, rotate the palms up to the ceiling. Close your eyes and drop into Shavasana. We'll be here for about 7 minutes.